So far, all of the cards we have mentioned before had a unique element to them, and it just makes sense. For a card to break the meta, having good stats and a cool name is not enough, right? Right? Let's dive into what many consider the most overpowered card in Gods Unchained, Hortuk Fallen Commander. Hortuk is a 5/5 that lets you choose between Blitz and Protected or Leech and Frontline, and then it summons 2 3/3 Fallen Legions with the keywords not picked. Now that we know what Hortuk does, let me show you the top 10 cards most played at Mythic rank. Hortuk is the 9 card most played and the 3rd neutral behind Axe Woman and Shapeshifter, being used in 20% of the decks. It is also the first card to show a positive win rate, and when it comes down to price, there is a huge difference between the other cards on the list. Keep in mind that 1/5 of the decks in Mythic are at least $140, and that is only Hortuk. He is also the only card above 4 mana in this list, so let's take a look at how much other 7-drops are being played on Mythic. Again, Hortuk is first. Emberon is a strong second, which makes sense being way more affordable, and the other 7-drops are not even close. If that is not enough, Hortuk maintains the highest win rate of all while still being the most played card. Overall, showcasing how this Hortuk breaks the meta is a hard task with anything other than numbers, but I'll do my best to explain why he's being used so much. First, we gotta understand how to keep balance between cards. Combo decks are unique, so setting them aside, most cards can generally be split into 3 categories. 1. Card that helps you when you're ahead. 2. Cards that help you when you're behind. And 3. Cards that are good at any time. For cards that help you when you're ahead or behind, playing them in opposing scenarios usually gives little to no value. Imagine playing a Radiant down on an empty board, or playing a Black Blood Blast when you're ahead. Given these cards are not always useful, when played at the right time, they can easily outvalue cards that are good at any time. And this creates balance. Yes, might be simplified, but in its core, this philosophy helps design cards that make sense. The only problem is, Hortuk doesn't care about this balance. He's good when you're ahead, he's good when you're behind. The best Hortuk counterplay is usually Hortuk. You can play him on aggro, mid-range, control. Hortuk is just everything. Hortuk offers bleeds, frontline, leech, tons of stats, while having the option of spreading keywords in whatever way suits your game the most. An already broken card being this versatile is insane. And yet, it is weird that this card is not on the spotlight as much as others. Hortuk is silently being used by most Mythic players on every deck they play. I asked for competitive players' opinion about the card like H-Pain, Leva, Sam, Mepo, but the sentiment wasn't as strong as I expected. Yes, the card is good, but it feels like everyone just accepted the feeling of having to deal with Hortuk and playing one themselves. Now, Hortuk is often compared with Daryl. And although Terrell packs a better late game along with decent stats, 7 mana is a crucial milestone in any GU game, forcing players to have an immediate answer or move on to the next game. This has lowered the amount of Terrell games over time, cementing Hortuk, in my opinion, as the most broken neutral card. I completely understand if you do not agree with me, but I'll keep believing Hortuk has redefined the meta. As a nightmare of aggro decks and one of the biggest threats on the board, Hortuk is here to stay. And so, I baptized Hortuk as Gods Unchained Dr. Boom.
I'll give it a 2. Card's bad. It's a
Alright, that's H-Pain's hot take.
Whoa,
We know this is automatically wrong because this will be played so much because not everybody has a Ethereal.
no.
So everybody would not.
Yeah, but is it going to make their deck better? No, it's a crappy Zealous March. That's all it is.
Well, that was easy.